This is breaking news.
Right now, the New Jersey Forest Fire Service is providing an update on the West Milford wildfire. Let's go to it now.
So I'll leave the rest of those details with our assistant fire warden. But one thing I did want to clarify for you all, which we hadn't touched on too much earlier, is the ownership of the property. So we are within the Newark watershed here. To my understanding, Newark watershed has about 35,000 acres. The city of Newark owns that. The reservoir behind you is what they process and then pipe into the city of Newark. And they've been a great partner throughout this, really making themselves readily available to all of us, fully supportive of the operation. So just a big round of thanks to the city of Newark and their staff in being available to support this operation and all that goes with it. And beyond that, just again, a big thank you to all the collaborating agencies, all the volunteer fire departments, emergency response, state police, as I mentioned, supporting us with some overnight flights, Department of Transportation, and I think that pretty well covers it. This will be our last briefing. Refer you all to our social media posts going forward. If you have report outs to do tomorrow, would ask that you do them at a different location. You can read out our social media posts. We're seeking to break down this incident command post tomorrow morning after the morning briefing with staff. So really looking to wrap this up. We'll be keeping eyes on it for the days ahead. But in terms of our engagement with all of you, thank you for the last couple of days. Really appreciate your support getting the word out to the public. Really appreciate the patience of the community, West Milford, and all the residents that have been affected. So again, takes a lot of folks to rally around and make sure we can keep this in a good place. We feel like we've done a great job with that, and we'll continue to keep our eyes on it in the days ahead. So thanks again. To you, Eric.
All right, so good afternoon. Eric Weber, Assistant Division Forest Fire Warden with the New Jersey Forest Fire Service. Just to reiterate what the Chief and Mr. Cecil said, we expect the fire to stay within our containment lines. We're very confident with that. Like they said, we did just fly the fire. Things are looking relatively good. Night shift was able to finally go home and get some rest. That was where primarily resources from South Jersey, so they have a little bit of travel between here and home. And then day shift resources are doing a really good job, continuing what we talked about this morning, reinforcing those control lines, taking care of the hazard trees and snags, which are essentially burning hazard trees, and really making everything nice and secure. Our air tanker is still making water drops up on the east side of Echo Lake, just kind of monitoring some things. There's a couple of pockets that there's some heat in that we want to just take out and take that ember thread away from any potential situations later on. And I think the last thing we really want to stress to everyone, all non-fire personnel, to stay out of the fire area. It's unsafe for firefighters to be in there. We have falling trees, rolling rock, heat, all kinds of things going on, so it's really unsafe for any non-fire personnel to be within the fire area. So we want to encourage people to stay out. And then Echo Lake Road as well, that road is closed. All non-fire personnel, please don't travel on Echo Lake Road. Any questions?
Again, you said 65% contained, right?
Yeah, so containment is approximately 65% now. We're expecting full containment overnight.
And do you have a cause yet?
It's still under investigation.
So the houses are Sherwood and Gould, are they still will they still be blocked overnight for protection or
Yes, so tonight, for night operations, it's going to be a similar plan. Monitor control lines, patrol, mop up any threats to the lines. Keep an eye on those houses that are out to the north. We're not anticipating any issues or potential evacuations at this time. But we will be here throughout the night. And like the Chief said and John said, we do plan on breaking down this incident command post tomorrow morning and transition it over back to the local fire warden.
Are you concerned about Gould, that street over there? We noticed that the fire line goes right to that street from our house.
Yep, so we have units up there working on that, improving those fire lines, monitoring, taking care of any heat. That's the plan up in there. We're fairly confident the same plan we had this morning is going to work for us today.
Any concerns about the weather conditions? Still pretty cold.
So actually, I almost feel like it's getting a little bit, the humidity's coming up now. I can almost feel it. I haven't checked the weather. That's something that we do frequently. I just personally haven't looked at it. They are anticipating that rain potentially over the late weekend, which will be a help for us, but we do need significant rainfall to kind of consider this fire out.
Can you give us an approximate number of how many firefighters were on hand at pretty much any point to help?
So probably last night was the peak, and I believe we had approximately 125 personnel on scene.
And can you just speak to, you know, the incredible work they've done? I mean, to have that turn for the worse overnight,
Yeah.
have the fire spread, and then come back here this afternoon, just a few hours later, with a pretty optimistic update. They must be really kicking some butt up.
Yeah, so, you know, last night, you know, was pretty serious. Probably some of the worst fire behavior we've seen in northern New Jersey in a while, which explains the size of this fire. And the crews, like I said, they were working, actually they were working with, we have some more tools here from yesterday. So leaf rakes, that tool over there is called a Pulaski. It's kind of similar to an axe. This is a shovel type tool. And then leaf blowers. It seems like a silly thing, but just like cleaning up your backyard, blowing leaves in the forest with a leaf blower is a very effective process for us. So these are what our guys are using up there. I mean, they are working really hard. This is hands-on, dirty work.
Where are they seeking refuge? Are they coming back here? Where are they going when they're done?
Most of our units are just returned home or back to their station.
Can you talk more about the local community? I know Greg was talking about donations of food. There are some businesses that are collecting things. Just talk about just the outstanding response.
Absolutely. So yeah, the residents and that have been stopping by, the individuals with water and food and dropping things off, we're extremely grateful for. We have a process in place to deliver food from here to the firefighters on the fire line. So we have personnel assisting with that, and so the food that is getting dropped off and the water and supplies is being delivered to the firefighters on the line, and we are definitely extremely grateful for that.
Can you speak to the experience? I know there's probably firefighters out there of all different number of years of experience. Talk about how good this week has been, as busy as it's been. Talk about how good it was for maybe those younger firefighters getting that experience.
Sure. So although we're having this fire here and now, a lot of our firefighters travel the country through interagency and interstate agreements that we have. So a lot of our firefighters gather a lot of experience at other fires on deployments, bring that experience home so we can implement them for a fire such as this. So the difference as you travel to different areas, even within New Jersey, is the fuel type and the terrain. So like has been mentioned prior, South Jersey flat, pine barrens, sandy soils. Up here, leaf litter, oak hickory forest, steep terrain, rocks. It's just a matter of where you're going. Are you in, what Florida looks like compared to Northern California, Napa Valley. It depends on what we're dealing with, the fuel and the terrain. And so, another thing that we should probably mention is those homes being threatened are what we call the wildland urban interface. So where the homes and the forest come together. And we do have prevention programs. It's called FireWise. You can go to our website, njwildfire.org. There's some information about FireWise, residents kind of preparing for a fire such as this. New Jersey is a densely populated state, so speaking about traveling around the country, sometimes areas we go are pretty remote. You don't find remote areas like that here in New Jersey.
Thank y'all so much.
Yeah, one more. One more. I'll take yours. Oh, you're good? Oh. Thank you very much. Thank you.